Welcome to this TD Mobile 2.1 video about consuming REST services. Let me show you how you can consume REST services in TD Mobile 2.1. What you see here is a TD Mobile app that has a table control here, and that table control has update, insert and delete active. You see that I have an update operation, insert operation and a delete operation. And let's look at the code of these, because all these operations basically call a REST service that will then do the update, insert and delete for me, and actually also the data read at the beginning. So let's look at the server portion of this page here. There's an operation read companies. This operation read companies returns an array of class company into the binding companies. And the actions are actually very simple. To call this REST service, you just have to call sal.json deserialize UDV. You pass in the UDV that should contain the results, the UDV array actually, and then the second parameter is the URL of the REST service. If it fails, then I'm just passing back an error message, and I'm only returning object companies, which is the data that comes through the REST service into this array of companies. So the read is really simple. The same is true for update, delete and insert. What I do, I need to do a little bit of massaging here, because the REST service I provide uses its own ID column for updates, despite the table already having an ID column. So I had to do some data massaging. Basic call is this one here, sal.json serialize UDV. Again, you pass in the object and you pass the URL of the REST service, and you see it's concatenated with that column ID, the special column ID that this REST service requires. And this will execute the update. So again, you just pass in the object and the URL, and that's it. So really very easy implementation of calling REST service, and TD Mobile will automatically encode the contents of this object update into the JSON string required by this REST service here. And when reading data, it's the other way around. TD Mobile receives a JSON string from this REST service and decodes it into this array of companies here. Now let's try and see how all this works in test mode. Let me compile the application and run it in a browser to see if the REST services as I programmed them do actually work. So now it's loading the page and retrieving the data for the table control, and you can see the read REST service works. Let's add a row now. Column ID 1, company, open text, address 275 Frank Tompa Drive, city Waterloo, state Ontario, zip something, country Canada, phone just a number. And with save, the insert REST service should have added it. Now let's reload it from the read service. And here you see open text ID 1, all the data that I did insert. You can also update this data, of course, change the city to Toronto, save, and you see this works. So the easy access to REST services is working quite nicely here. Using the new REST API, you can create apps that interact with all enterprise software services and bridge data silos. You can connect to SAP, Salesforce, OpenText, Self-Made REST services or other public REST services. The entire system is small effort programming. You have automatic serialization of JSON strings into UDVs and vice versa. And you have two easy to use functions, sal.json serialize UDV and sal.json deserialize UDV, to talk to REST services. Download OpenText TD Mobile 2.1 from the OpenText website now to try all this yourself.